Now, there's a word we bandy about a lot here in primetime on Sky News, and you hear a lot on the radio, and maybe even you have started to use it yourself. It's the word woke. Now, for those that aren't fully up with what its meaning is that essentially woke means you are awoken to all of the sins of the past. But what is really interesting is that SBS, who does an excellent show called Insight, it's a show where they actually get all the people in the room from all the different sides of a debate, not just the caricatures of a debate, which often turn up on places like Q&A, and they toss around big issues. Well, fascinatingly, they had a conversation last night about being politically incorrect, but they also started to talk about what does woke mean? Why is woke necessarily a bad thing? Has it gone too far? And if you're somebody who, again, has just been nodding along with the television each time you see the word woke, this bloke actually helps define it in a clearer way than I have heard from anyone else. This was a member of the audience last night on SBS.
I was raised in a left-wing family whose primary concern was the wealth disparities as they affected the working class, and I shared those sensibilities. But around the 2010s, what could be called the old left that I've just described have allowed themselves to be completely consumed by the new left and an obsession with identity politics. And the new left have gone so far down this path of identity politics that they are beyond the horizon and over the waterfall.
It's a good point. He also talks about how corrosive this stuff can be, even from a bloke who came from a traditional left-wing family, if you don't fully kiss the ring of those who believe that you're either all on board with the most extreme definition of things set by the most extreme people, most likely in our universities, and if you stand up for just the odd question here and there, if you think there's more grey in the world than black and white, well, this is what happens.
If you express any hesitancy whatsoever around the vaccine, you're an anti-vaxxer. If you express a desire for freedom of speech, you're told you're supporting hate speech. If you express concern that biological males in women's sports might break girls' hearts as well as their limbs, you are a transphobe. So it becomes impossible to have conversations, and this fractures relationships at an interpersonal level. And the same thing is happening at a societal level and a nationwide level, because there's no longer any political discourse.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So well done to Sean. I don't know what other things he said. I'm sure a hit job is coming from the ABC about something he tweeted 12 years ago. But what he said last night on the Insight program, really interesting. If Sean's watching, get in touch, but we'll try and get in touch with him in the next little while. I like that clear thinking, regardless of where you come from on the political spectrum, the concept that wokeness and this adherence to this pseudo-religion with all of its holy texts and priestly people, well, it is doing none of us a favour.